Hello, my name is Joe Vasta, and today I'm going to show you a proof that pi equals 3. Could it be? Well, let's follow some steps here. I start off by setting x equal to pi plus 3 over 2. Now all I'm doing is assigning x some real number. So that's legal. I'm not doing anything wrong there. I multiply both sides of the equation by 2. I multiply both sides of the equation by the number pi minus 3. I distribute the 2x on the left and multiply those two binomials on the right. I go ahead and add 9 to both sides and subtract a 2 pi x on both sides. I add x squared on both sides of the equation. I factor both sides, so they both factor into perfect squares. I square root both sides, and that gets rid of the squared. And now I add x on both sides, and this gives me 3 equals pi. So we know maybe something is wrong with one of my steps. Now you could just show this video to your worst enemy and just stop the video there and say, see? Let's go ahead and figure out what went wrong. So if you're not up on your algebra, you might say, let's just keep track of the left-hand side and the right-hand side on each step and see what happens. So like first step, we go pi plus 3 over 2. So if you do that on your calculator, you get something like 3.07. Okay, so that's what x is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 3 times that x value. Oh, not 3 times, 2 times that x value, and that gives me 6.14 something, and then I have pi plus 3, which is 6.14. Okay, the next step, so that looks legitimate. 6.14 equals 6.14. Okay, and I'm rounding when I say 6.14. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my x value. I know my x is 3.07 something. I'm going to put that into the left-hand side and put it into the right-hand side, and I get the same thing, 0.8696, etc. I multiplied through, to go from here. I distributed it and multiplied. So I plugged those in to a calculator, and I got the same thing, and that's what I expect. Now, this next step, I switched some things around. This is when I added the 9 and subtracted the 2 pi x. But I still ended up getting the same thing on both sides. Okay, I added an x squared to both sides of the equation here. I added a 3.07 squared to both sides, and I ended up getting the same thing on both sides. Going from this step to this step, all I did was factor both sides, so I should probably expect to get the same thing, and I did. I took the square root of both sides of the equation, and there it is. On the left-hand side, I get negative 0.07, and on the right-hand side, I get 0.07. So this is the wrong step right here. Why is that so? Because inside the parentheses there, I've got a negative 0.07, and over here I have a 0.07, but when you square them both, you get the same thing. It's kind of like if I had a negative 5 inside the parentheses there, and 5 inside the parentheses there, and then saying, oh, well, just take the square root and the squares go away, I would get negative 5 equals 5, and that's where this whole proof went wrong. But when you first saw it, maybe you were a bit shocked, saying, how can it be that pi equals 3? It really doesn't, because I messed up the algebra here intentionally to fool you. Hope you enjoyed this video.